It's good to see you. Thanks for joining me. I hope you're doing well. This is the first chunk of a three-part presentation. That's how do we move from surviving to growing and thriving, given the current conditions we're under with the pandemic. So we're taking it into areas where we're going to take a look at some of the behaviours that you might have experienced yourself, or somebody close to you or known to you is experiencing, and just seeing what that might mean in terms of just the context we're in right now. As ever, please feel free to get back to us if there's anything that you'd like to discuss. We're here and happy to help. Just now. So if we take a look at where we are with stage 1 survival, I'm going to ask you to cast your mind back maybe 3 weeks, 4 weeks ago. What happened? The country went into a frenzy of panic buying, didn't it? We've seen similar stuff happening in the States. We've seen a lot of rejection of the government line in the States. That's not what we're doing. We're rejecting this. So people become angry, sad, frustrated, and they are rejecting advice. It's not because they're pathological lawbreakers. It's because they are distressed, they are frightened, and they're really kicking back against the only thing in their line of vision at that moment. So some of the behaviours that we can attach to this survival phase. And as we're doing so, maybe just have a think about how you felt. One of the things that we need to be very aware of is that even though we do progress, we hope so, is that we can get our knockbacks, and it can throw us further back through the phases, and that's not an unusual thing. And it's important that we think of it this way. It's not as if you've failed, it's that you've had a bit of a knockback, and we can pick ourselves up and get going again. Here are the early stages for you, and I'm going to start at 12 o'clock and go around backwards. We become unproductive and lethargic in that time when we're doing nothing. That creates space to worry about everything. At that time, we feel that we've lost power over day-to-day events, and we become sad. We can no longer do the things we liked doing, no longer do the things that we loved doing, no longer do the things that defined us as a person. So what do? We glue ourselves to the news and to social media, and you will know that the content of the news, particularly in the early stages, the mid stages, has been almost universally depressing. There have been a few indicators that things are picking up. There have been one or two good news stories with people who've survived, and some sterling fundraising efforts. But the impact of spending too much time on the news and too much time on social media, and we have to be really careful about our filters here. It's become really hard to tell what's true and untrue, hasn't it? It's packaged so well. The impact of that we feel completely powerless and classically sad, because we need to respond to this feeling and the emotions it generates. We want to get angry with people. Why has this been allowed to happen? Why is this happening to me? Why is this happening to my family? What we're really dealing with is a fear of the unknown, and that's a perfectly rational explanation that then feeds the cycle again, and we just try to get through every day. But if every day you're unproductive and lethargic and you're worried about everything, you're glued to social media, do you see the way it's going here? So what we need to do is to try a few strategies, unglue ourselves from social media, take it like your food, breakfast, lunch, evening meal, so that's social media and the news, and let's see if we can begin to engage in a few behaviours that might be more productive, more helpful, and will help us get to a place where we are not only growing, but we're beginning to thrive. Right, so we've taken a look at some of the behaviours that we can associate with the first stage of our responses. You may have experienced them yourself, you might have seen them in other people, and whereas we can agree that it's a natural part of the cycle, I'd like us also to accept that this is not a good place to stay. So what we're going to do next is to take a look at the behaviours that will show us that we're beginning to grow away from this, and this can also provide us with some targets too. See you there. Bye now.